Goulding just casually showed up to the fashion awards with a full baby bump on display, and nobody had any idea she was pregnant, and now everyone's talking about her new boyfriend Beau Minniear, who's 10 years younger than her, and how their relationship started. With a nude bed photo on Instagram just months after her divorce, and people are divided on whether this is beautiful new love or a messy rebound that moved way too fast. We're talking about the Love Me Like You Do singer, who's been relatively quiet since her split from her ex-husband in February 2024, suddenly appearing on a red carpet pregnant with baby number 2 and confirming a whole new relationship that most people didn't even know about. And the timeline is raising eyebrows because she went from announcing her separation to being photographed naked in bed by her new man to pregnant, all in less than a year. So let me break down this entire situation, because Ellie's personal life just became the hottest topic in pop music, and there's so much more to this story than just a pregnancy announcement. Let's start with Monday, December 1, 2025. The Fashion Awards in London. This is a huge event. All the biggest names in fashion and entertainment show up. It's glamorous. It's prestigious. Red carpets. Designers. Models. Celebrities. And Ellie Goulding walks the carpet in this all-black look. Floor-length leather jacket. Black crop top. Black capri pants. Black heels. Chunky cross necklace covered in colorful stones. Very chic. Very rock and roll. Very Ellie. But here's what made everyone stop. The crop top revealed her bare baby bump. She wasn't trying to hide it. Wasn't using strategic angles or loose clothing. Just put it right out there for everyone to see. And that's how she announced her pregnancy. No Instagram post. No magazine exclusive. No carefully crafted statement. Just showed up pregnant and let the photos do the talking. And people were shocked. Because nobody knew. Ellie hadn't posted anything about being pregnant. Hadn't hinted at it. Hadn't done that thing celebrities usually do where they drop subtle clues and build anticipation. She just kept it completely private until she decided not to. Which honestly is kind of refreshing in an age where every celebrity documents every moment of their pregnancy for content. But it also meant that when the photos hit social media, everyone was like, wait, what, when did this happen, and who's the father? And that's where things get interesting. The father is Beau Minniear. He's an actor. 28 years old. 10 years younger than Ellie, who's 38. And if you're thinking, wait, I've never heard of this guy, you're not alone. Beau is not a household name. He's done some indie films. Small roles. He was in a movie called Night at the Eagle Inn. Another one called Bad Haircut. He's working actor trying to build a career. But he's not famous. Not on Ellie's level at all. So when it came out that she's dating him and now pregnant with his baby, people were curious. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? And how did this relationship happen so fast? Here's the timeline, and it's wild. Ellie and her ex-husband Caspar Jopling announced their separation in February 2024. They'd been married for 4.5 years. Got married in August 2019 in this beautiful ceremony at York Minster Cathedral. Very traditional. Very elegant. And they have a son together. Arthur, who's now 4 years old. When they announced the split, Ellie posted on Instagram stories saying they'd privately separated some time ago. That they remain the closest of friends. That they're successfully co-parenting. And that they're committed to protecting their family's privacy. Very mature. Very amicable. No drama. Just two people who grew apart and decided to end things respectfully. But then in July 2024, just 5 months after announcing her separation, Beau Minniear posted a photo dump on Instagram. It was a collection of pictures from what looked like a trip or vacation. Beautiful scenery. Artsy shots. And then one photo that stood out. A woman with blonde hair lying in bed. Naked. You couldn't see her face fully. Just her hair and part of her body. But it was clearly intimate. Clearly romantic. And people immediately speculated it was Ellie. And then Ellie liked the post and commented a red heart emoji. And Beau replied with a red heart emoji back. So basically they soft-launched their relationship by him posting a nude photo of her and them exchanging heart emojis in the comments. Which is a choice. A very modern, very Instagram choice. And people had opinions. Some thought it was sweet. A new relationship. New love. Good for her for moving on. Others thought it was too soon. Too public. Too intimate to be sharing when her divorce ink wasn't even dry yet and she has a 4-year-old son to think about. The debate was intense. Is 5 months after announcing a separation too fast to be dating someone new publicly? Is posting nude photos of your new girlfriend on social media when she's a famous singer appropriate? What message does this send to her ex-husband and their son? These were the questions people were asking. And Ellie and Beau didn't address any of it. They just kept living their lives. In September 2024 they were photographed together publicly for the first time in London. Holding hands. Looking couple-y, confirming what everyone already suspected. They're together. They're serious. And they're not hiding it anymore. Sources told tabloids at the time that it's still early days but Ellie and Beau are very much in love. That he's a real romantic. That they're very sweet together. That Ellie's very happy. Which all sounds lovely. But people were still skeptical because of how fast it all happened. And then Ellie cast Beau as her love interest in her music video for her song Destiny. Which came out in late 2024. So not only is he her boyfriend. He's now starring in her videos. Which some people thought was cute and some people thought was mixing business with pleasure in a way that might not age well if the relationship doesn't last. But Ellie clearly didn't care about the opinions. She was happy. She was in love. And she was going to live her life how she wanted. And now here we are. December 2025. Less than a year after announcing her separation from her husband. And she's pregnant with her new boyfriend's baby. The math raises questions. When did she get pregnant? How far along is she? Based on the size of her bump in the Fashion Awards photos, people are speculating she's probably in her second trimester. Maybe 5 or 6 months along. Which would mean she got pregnant around June or July. Right around the time that nude bed photo was posted. So this relationship moved fast. Dating in July. Pregnant possibly by that same month or shortly after. That's a whirlwind. Now some people are saying good for her. She's 38 years old. She already has 1 child. She knows what she wants. If she wants to have another baby with someone new, that's her choice. She doesn't owe anyone an explanation or a timeline that makes them comfortable. And that's a fair point. Ellie is an adult. She can make her own decisions about her body and her relationships. And if she's happy, then that's all that matters. The fact that it happened quickly doesn't mean it's wrong or doomed to fail. Sometimes when you know, you know. But others are concerned. They're saying this is classic rebound behavior. That she jumped from a marriage straight into a serious relationship without taking time to heal or be alone. That getting pregnant this quickly with someone new is a red flag. That the 10-year age gap is significant. Especially when the younger partner isn't as established or famous. They're worried about power dynamics. About whether this is sustainable. About what happens if things don't work out and now there's a baby involved. These are valid concerns, especially given how quickly everything happened. And then there's the question of her son Arthur. He's 4 years old. His parents just separated. Now his mom has a new boyfriend. And a new baby on the way. That's a lot of change for a little kid to process. And while Ellie has been very protective of Arthur's privacy, she hasn't shown his face publicly, she's kept him out of the spotlight. There's still the question of how this is affecting him emotionally. Kids that age understand more than adults sometimes give them credit for. He knows his family structure has changed. And now it's changing again. That can be confusing and difficult even in the best circumstances. Ellie has talked before about how much she loves being a mom. In a 2023 interview with People magazine, she said that being around Arthur automatically zaps her anxiety away. That her body wants her to be with him all the time. That she's had no choice but to put herself and being a mother first, and then everything else she does to the best of her ability. Which is beautiful. It shows that she prioritizes her son. But it also raises the question of how adding another baby to the mix with a new partner is going to work logistically and emotionally. Co-parenting with Caspar while building a new family with Beau is going to be complicated. And speaking of Caspar, how does he feel about all this? We don't know because he's stayed completely silent. Hasn't commented publicly. Hasn't given interviews. Hasn't posted anything on social media about Ellie's new relationship or pregnancy. Which is probably the smartest thing he could do. But you have to imagine this is weird for him. His ex-wife, who he was married to for years and shares a child with, is now pregnant with another man's baby less than a year after their separation. Even if the separation was amicable, even if they're on good terms, that's got to sting a little bit. What's interesting is how Ellie chose to announce this pregnancy compared to her first. When she was pregnant with Arthur, she did a big Vogue interview. Talked about how unexpected pregnancy felt for her. Said the thought of getting pregnant didn't seem like it could be a reality. She was open about her journey. Shared details. Did a whole photo shoot. It was very public. But this time she's been completely private. No announcement. No interview. Just showed up to an event with a bump. It's a stark contrast. And it suggests that maybe she's learned from the first time that sharing too much opens you up to too much scrutiny, and she wants to protect this pregnancy and this relationship from that. Or maybe it's because this pregnancy is more complicated. It's with a new partner. It happened quickly. The circumstances are messy. So keeping it private until she couldn't hide it anymore was the easier choice. Either way, it shows that Ellie is trying to control her narrative as much as possible in a situation where people are going to judge no matter what she does. And people are definitely judging. Social media has been wild since the fashion awards. Some people are celebrating. Posting congratulations. Saying she looks beautiful. Saying they're happy for her. But others are criticizing. Saying she moved too fast. Saying the age gap is concerning. Saying that posting nude photos and getting pregnant within months of meeting someone is reckless. The comments sections are split. And Ellie hasn't responded to any of it. She's staying silent. Letting people say what they're going to say. Which is probably wise. Engaging with critics never ends well for celebrities. Beau also hasn't commented. His Instagram has stayed quiet. No pregnancy announcement from him. No statement. No photos of Ellie showing her bump. He's keeping a low profile, which makes sense. He's not used to this level of attention. He's a working actor trying to build a career, not a tabloid fixture. Being thrust into the spotlight as Ellie Goulding's boyfriend and baby daddy is probably overwhelming. So staying quiet is smart. Let Ellie control the narrative, since it's her fanbase and her career that are more affected by public opinion. What happens next is anyone's guess. Ellie is probably due sometime in the spring of 2026 based on the size of her bump. So we've got a few more months before the baby arrives. Will she do a formal announcement before then? Will she share more details about her relationship with Beau? Will she post pregnancy updates or keep everything private? We don't know. But based on how she's handled things so far, my guess is she'll continue to keep things quiet. Maybe post a photo after the baby's born. Maybe not show the baby's face just like she doesn't show Arthur's face. Keep that boundary in place. And will this relationship last? That's the million-dollar question. They moved fast. Really fast. Dating in July. Pregnant possibly by that same month. That's a compressed timeline. And while some relationships that start quickly end up being solid and lasting, others burn out just as fast as they ignited. The statistics aren't great for relationships that begin shortly after a separation. Rebound relationships fail more often than not. But that doesn't mean this one will. Maybe Ellie and Beau are the exception. Maybe they really did find something special. Maybe having a baby together will strengthen their bond and they'll build a beautiful life together. Or maybe this will implode in a year or two and we'll be talking about another breakup and complicated co-parenting situation and Ellie dating someone new. We genuinely don't know. And that's what makes this story so compelling. It could go either way. And everyone's watching to see what happens. Because Ellie Goulding isn't just some random celebrity. She's a Grammy-nominated artist who's been in the music industry for over a decade. She's had massive hits. Love Me Like You Do. Burn. Lights. She's performed at royal weddings. She's a big deal. So when her personal life gets messy, people pay attention. What I will say is that Ellie seems happy. In the fashion awards photos, she's glowing. Smiling. Looking confident. She's not hiding or looking uncomfortable. She's owning it. And that suggests that whatever people think or say, she's at peace with her choices. And ultimately, that's all that matters. She's not living her life for public approval. She's living it for herself. And if that means dating a younger actor and having his baby less than a year after leaving her husband, then that's what she's going to do. And good for her for having the courage to do that, even knowing people will judge. But let's also be real. The timeline is wild. The nude bed photo going public was a choice. The 10-year age gap raises questions. The speed of getting pregnant raises questions. And while Ellie doesn't owe anyone explanations, she also put herself in the public eye by revealing the pregnancy on a red carpet. So people are going to have opinions. And those opinions are going to range from supportive to critical to downright mean. That's the price of being famous. Your personal life becomes public property whether you like it or not. So what do you think? Is Ellie's relationship with Beau beautiful new love or a messy rebound that moved too fast? Do you think the 10-year age gap matters, or is age just a number when you're both adults? And are you happy for her or concerned about how quickly everything happened? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story is so divisive and I want to hear all perspectives. And if you made it to the end of this deep dive, thanks for sticking with me.